Okay, let's dive into this. If you've ever fired up Proxmox for your home lab, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You start out, it's a clean slate, everything looks perfect, and then, well, it just kind of descends into chaos. Today, we're going to get into exactly why your Proxmox UI seems to fight you on organization and the clever and, let's be honest, sometimes desperate ways people try to tame that beast. And look, it's a totally fair question. It's one that pretty much every user asks at some point. You've got this perfect vision in your head, right? A super logical, perfectly structured layout of all your services. So why does the interface itself feel like it's actively working against you? And this is always how it starts, isn't it? Your lab it grows. One little project leads to another, and before you know it, that tidy little list you started with has become this intimidating wall of text and numbers that maybe only you can understand. And half the time, you're not even sure you can. You see this question all over the community forums, and it sounds so simple, so innocent. It's really the first step down a very deep rabbit hole. People aren't asking for some super complex feature. They just want basic, intuitive structure. But the answer, as we're about to see, is, well, it's anything but simple. All right, so let's start with what Proxmox actually gives you out of the box. Because on the surface, there is a system here. It's just probably not the system you're looking for. The logic is pretty straightforward, really. Everything's grouped by what it is, a VM or a container, and then it's all sorted numerically by its ID. And storage is off in its own little world. I mean, technically this is organization, but it's organization for a machine, not for a person. And right there, that's the absolute heart of the problem. See, Proxmox knows you've got a VM. What it doesn't know, and frankly doesn't care about, is that this VM is your Plex media server, and you really, really want to see it sitting right next to your Sonar and Radar containers. The software's logic just doesn't speak the same language as your project's logic. So this brings us to the official built-in solution, tags. The whole idea is you can slap a label on your resources, like media or networking, and then you can filter your view to see only the things with that tag. And you will hear this repeated over and over and over again in the community. For a lot of folks, this is it. This is the definitive, intended way you're supposed to bring some sanity to the chaos. It's presented as the answer. But is it a good one? And this metaphor just hits the nail on the head. Tags are just a filter, they're an overlay. They absolutely help you find stuff, but they don't change the underlying structure one bit. The list is still a jumbled mess. You've just managed to put a few colorful sticky notes on some of the papers. The desk itself is still messy. So what happens when the official solution just feels incomplete? Well, the community does what it always does best. It gets really, really creative. People start figuring out ways to bend the system's rigid logic to their will. This is the first big aha moment for so many frustrated users. You realize, wait a minute, if the only thing Proxmox actually respects is the numerical order of the VM ID, then the VM ID itself has to become the tool for organization. So what you start to see are these really clever personal systems. Someone might decide, okay, all my media services are going to live in the 11,000 range, and all my network tools get the 12,000 range. You're not just giving something an ID anymore, you're literally assigning it a physical spot on the list. And for a little while, you feel like you've cracked the code. It feels amazing. But this whole self-made system is incredibly fragile. I mean, what happens when you run out of numbers in your media block? Or worse, what if you just forget your own elaborate numbering scheme? The very structure you built to create order suddenly becomes a brand new source of chaos. So you're basically left with these two main control hacks. You've got the numbering scheme, which is clever but super brittle, or there's the nuclear option, rebuilding. That literally means you back up a VM, you destroy it, and then you restore it with a new ID just to move it up or down the list. It's a staggering amount of work for something that is, at the end of the day, just an aesthetic fix. So after trying and failing to force perfect order onto the system, users tend to drift into one of three distinct camps. It becomes less about the tool itself and more about the mindset you have to adopt just to live with it. So you've got three main strategies. First up is adaptation. You just accept the limits and you use tags like you're supposed to. Second is control. You actively fight the system with your numbering schemes and other hacks. And then finally, there's detachment. And that's a whole different ballgame. This quote right here perfectly captures that detachment philosophy.
For these users, the web interface it's irrelevant. It's just a cosmetic front end. The real work gets done on the command line, with scripts, with automation. Why on earth would you waste time polishing a dashboard you barely even look at? So why is this such a common struggle? Why does organizing Proxmox feel so fundamentally unintuitive? Well, the answer comes down to a basic conflict between how our brains are wired to think and how the software was actually built.
Let's be real. What everyone wants is folders, a simple, nested hierarchy you can drag and drop stuff into. The reason that doesn't exist isn't because of some oversight. It's a reflection of the product's core design philosophy. Proxmox is a powerful engine, not a pretty file cabinet. It's always going to choose function over form. And this right here, this slide breaks it all down. This is the disconnect. You think in terms of services, roles, and groups. Proxmox thinks in terms of objects, IDs, and types. We are speaking two completely different languages, and all those hacks and tags are just our clumsy attempts at translation.
So where does this whole journey end? After all the fighting and the hacking and the frustration, you make a kind of peace with it all?
This is the quiet realization that pretty much every longtime Proxmox user gets to. You just accept it. The pristine, perfectly organized interface that you imagined in your head, it's not achievable. It's not a goal you can reach because the tool was never designed to take you there in the first place. And that's when you start to understand that this whole struggle, it was never really about cleaning up a sidebar. It was always about a much deeper choice in how you decide to interact with the tools you use.
So it all comes down to this one question. Do you spend endless energy trying to force a tool to fit your mental model of how things should be, or do you adapt your own thinking to match the reality of the tool in front of you? In the end, the chaos on that screen is less about Proxmox, and it's a lot more about that choice.